Hello everybody! So we've heard quite a bit about the PlayStation Pro, we've been teased just a touch about the Xbox Scorpio, and, well, the next generation from Nintendo, NX, when's it gonna be released, who knows? But Nintendo has let us in on a few things. Everybody's talking about it, everybody loves the new Zelda, there's supposed to be a great Pokemon on it, and the revolutionary new Super Mario title. Today, however, I'd like to talk a little bit about the last one. Woohoo! It's him, Mario! Nintendo's Golden Boy has been around for quite a long time now. He's been in more video games than most of us can imagine. He's immediately identifiable, if not relatable, and many of us have traveled with him from land to world to paintings to beyond the furthest star. So, you would think basically anybody could tell you what makes a Mario game and what it needs to be a real Mario game. Yet all the time I'm hearing this shit. They should launch a new 3D Mario game. It's been forever. Well, they launched a 3D Mario game in 2015. No, not that one. It's not a real 3D Mario game. There's some reason that Super Mario 3D World and the other game like it simply just doesn't get the respect, man. People don't really view it as a true 3D Mario game. Why is that? What sets 3D World apart and what causes this disrespect? Let's start at the beginning. Too far, go back! So, Darkspine, what you talking about Zelda for? We're doing a Mario video. Stay with me. It'll all come together, I promise. So everybody probably knows about Super Mario World and The Legend of Zelda. They're both being conceptualized at the same time, yeah? Shiggy and his team in a room, probably a whiteboard, separated the ideas for two very different games. Legend tells that this was the point where the original design philosophy for the two series began. We started to work on The Legend of Zelda at the same time as Super Mario Bros. And since the same teams did both games, we tried to separate the different ideas. Super Mario Bros. Should be linear. The Legend of Zelda should be the total opposite. So from the very beginning, we can see that while Zelda was meant to be explorative and wide open, Super Mario was all about the stage-to-stage linear progression. Hiding nothing significant from the player besides bonus rooms. Not really many puzzles to figure out in order to progress, but it asked more of your dexterity and reactions. While Zelda would ironically lose a focus on exploration in exchange for story, Mario's first foray into 3D would be all about the search.
It's me, Mario! Hello!
Super Mario 64 now had 3 dimensions! Very few people had worked in that space before. And back then, there wasn't the same kind of common sense design philosophies for 3D games at the birth of the N64. Nobody had done it. Evolution was necessary in the market too, with it being almost hostile to 2D games in that era. With the ability to move in all kinds of directions came a necessary change in the core of what Mario was. Left to right with a goal at the end simply wasn't going to cut it anymore. An obstacle course in the style Mario used to do with a beginning and an end wasn't going to show off the power of this new technology, and from a game design perspective, it wasn't as clean either. So how do you design the same kind of challenges Mario used to face without letting him simply bypass it by walking around? How do you create the same kind of surprise if you can see exactly where the end of the level is? The game of Mario had changed, and the goal of the games needed to change with it. To the point where if they didn't use familiar characters and concepts to ease player into the witchcraft of polygonal gaming, they might have just as easily done the wonderful adventures of Mr. Potato Head. The game had essentially become mission-based. It would offer you a sometimes cryptic clue and set you loose across the plains of Bob-on Battlefield or the tundra of Cool Cool Mountain, telling you to go find the new goal point, the Power Stars. So this is where Mario first started to drift from that original linear philosophy, where it asked only skill. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. Mario, especially up until that point, had largely been experimental and constantly introducing new things. Super Mario Bros. 2, at least as far as the US knew, threw out everything and expanded the universe. Mario 3 came up with wild power-ups in the world map, and Mario World would refine that and add Yoshi. It wasn't exactly jarring for Mario to switch it up. So we bought into the new explorative Mario, triple jumping through the castle and piecing together the secrets within. We could go to any number of stages and make real progress at any point in the game, instead of the largely ordered previous games. It was different, but that newness and adventure was still in line with the spirit of Mario. It was fine. And then Sunshine picked up that torch. We don't talk about Sunshine. And then the Wii! And of course, Mario wasn't terribly far behind. Super Mario Galaxy was another change in direction for the series. And whether this was a decision based around the limits of the Wii or not, the game largely had a structure closer to that of the original games, with linear progression, but at the same time encouraging a little exploration as it had some more open environments that it borrowed from other 3D titles. Now don't get me wrong, Galaxy was a gorgeous game, a hell of a spectacle, and it plays so good to this day, but you can't help but have a good time. But when the level you were going to play was decided from the moment you picked the star you were going for, is that really so different from choosing a course on the Mario 3 map screen? If that's the case, what is the advantage of a mission-based structure? At that point, isn't it more of a stage select for a lot of really similar looking stages instead of a series of suggestions to spur exploration? Back in 64, selecting a star was more of a suggestion. Something to give you something to go off. If you happen to stumble into something else, that's totally cool too. The clues gated progression and held the hands of a new player, but at the same time, the game was open enough where you could get frustrated and go start playing around and stumble into a different goal. It didn't take away agency from the player, it empowered them to make mistakes and find their own way. And at high-level play, veteran players with the skill and knowledge to do it could take stars in any order they choose. Of course, Galaxy also had a couple of open levels, and stars needed to exist for those. Same reasons Mario 64 made the switch. You can't really have a goal pole set up somewhere in a field and expect the player to go and find something secret. It doesn't work that way. But for the majority of the game, Galaxy wasn't exactly worse off with going linear. Like I said earlier, it was still a fantastic game. It just didn't feel like it truly owned it. Most of those levels could have had a goal pole and nothing would have changed. It was wearing the skin of a 3D Mario, but underneath it was almost as straightforward as those original titles, when the challenge came in passing the obstacle course, not finding the ending.
It rubs the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again.
Now we finally come back around to Super Mario 3D World on the Wii U, which for all the bells, multiplayer, Sprixies and the like, is as direct a translation of the old 2D Mario formula as you could get. There is no question of where to go but forward, using your own skill and determination to make it through the obstacle course to the waiting goal pole. Exploration is toned back, even over what Galaxy already did. But like the originals, you could still find the occasional bonus room and secret area. While Mario's earliest 3D entries were experimental and totally new territory even for Nintendo, they lost a little bit about what defined Mario at the beginning, a linear test of skill. Galaxy tiptoed back toward where Mario started, and what made Mario the icon he is. but 3D World wholeheartedly embraces the philosophy that started it all. Am I saying Super Mario 3D World is the one true Super Mario Master Race and a perfect game? Of course not. But what about my original question? Why is it that Super Mario 3D World is derided as not a real Mario? In my mind, it comes down to one thing. It isn't the structure, or the stars, or even the mechanics. What do people want with a Galaxy 3 or whatever? I'll tell you. Adventure. Mario has always been about the journey and the feeling of coming across something totally new. For everything it does well, Super Mario 3D World is totally vanilla. It's not a bad game by any means. It's fine. It's inoffensive. Throughout the Sprixie Kingdom, what's missing is a feeling of wonder and discovery. We're not journeying with Mario for the first time anymore, or meeting his dinosaur friend, or coming to grips with a crazy new dimension, or hurtling through the cosmos in a grand epic. We're fighting Boom Boom, again. We're fighting Bowser, again. Going through the same environments for the millionth time. I really don't think what people really want is a Galaxy 3, or especially not a Sunshine 2, because we've done that with Mario before. Whether the next Mario borrows from the mechanics of 3D World, Galaxy, 64, or something entirely new that we haven't even seen yet, what I feel gamers really want from Mario is that feeling of discovery, experimentation, freshness, and magic. That certain feeling that brings us back to the simple world of the Mushroom Kingdom and the grand sense of adventure that comes with it. And you know something? I can totally get behind that. But I hope as Mario moves forward, he doesn't forget what he came from. After all, he only just found it again. Hey everybody, thanks for sticking around and watching my Super Mario 3D World analysis video. It's been a long time coming, and if you're one of my subscribers, thank you for your patience. I hope you enjoy it. Now, maybe you're new and stumbled across this for the first time, and you're looking to watch more YouTube videos. Why not Darkspine? So here are a couple of my slightly older favorite videos. A little review of Yoshi's Woolly World for the Wii U. It's coming out on 3DS soon, so maybe think about it. It's a great game. I loved it. The second video is gonna be a very similar kind of analytical video to this one. It talked about death in video games and what we can learn from it, so maybe check that out. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and until next time, stay classy.